Please go ahead and turn off your cell phones, or at least put them to silent. And as a courtesy to everybody else in here, a reminder to give us, when we get to the question and answer period, as always, name and affiliation. And we'll get one question at a time. We'll get back to you if the time permits. Recording of press conferences on video on your cell phones in here is not prohibited. And we'll start with a statement from Coach Schlossnagel, if I can remember his name. I forgot Bianco's name last night.
What's that?
I forgot Mike's name last night. Really?
You forgot how to pronounce it?
No.
It's right in front of him.
I had a senior moment. We'll wait for Nathan. Okay, I've made all the other announcements. We'll start with a statement from Coach Schlossnagel.
Thought it was a great ball game. Obviously, Nathan was just outstanding in every sense of the word. Coming back on short rest, which is exactly what we needed, and we got enough timely hits. You know, we had chances to break the game open many times, and either had a base running mistake, or they made a pitch, or Boast hit that ball really hard to right center field that the center fielder ran down. But we'll take it. Congratulations to Notre Dame on just an unbelievable season. Link Jarrett, can't say enough about the job he and his staff have done. My first year of college coaching at Clemson, 1993, he was playing shortstop at Florida State. So really happy to see him doing so well. So best wishes to the Fighting Irish.
Okay, we'll start with questions just for the student athletes, and why don't we start back here with Mitch, Mark?
Mitch Kutcher, CWS 247. Nathan, how were you able to rebound from a rough start in Game 1 and have a strong outing today?
It was tough. It was for sure. I'm not gonna lie to you. After Friday, I felt just terrible. Like I let my team down. But to come back and to have Coach give me the ball just 2 games later. All that confidence just flowed through me, and to know that they trust me and that the players trust me behind me. All I had to do was believe in myself, and that's what happened, and had some success today.
Okay, Olin?
Yeah, Olin Buchanan, Tech Zags. Nathan, what was the conversation like with you and Coach when he told you that you were going to be starting?
Yeah, he just told me straight up. He was like, "When do you want to go?" And I told him whenever. He's like, "Well, we need you tomorrow," and that was yesterday. So he told me I was going today, and I was like, "Let's do it. Let's go. I want it." Just to kind of redeem myself, and to know that he trusted me to give me the ball. It felt amazing, and to know that my guys behind me believed in me too. It felt amazing.
Okay, right down here.
Ryan Broniger, Tech Zags. Nathan, when did you know that you had the sinker going like it was? And then Trevor, when you're playing defense behind a guy that's sinking the ball like that, are you anticipating all the action you got at third?
Yeah, right from the start in the bullpen when I was down there with Troy, I was getting really good to my glove side and to my arm side, that sinker. I knew if I just gave it a shot, what I've been doing recently is just kind of starting it outside, and then it's becoming a ball, and starting it inside and become a ball. But if I just attack the middle, trust my life, throw some strikes, I know I have a shot, and I know these guys can work behind me.
Yeah. I mean, he was doing a great job of locating all 3 of his pitches, or 3 or 4, whatever. I mean, I would look up on the big screen and just see guys just completely swing over his sinker. You know, he was starting the right spot and was finishing the right spot. So they obviously didn't have fun with it. It's fun to play behind that because, I mean, you're going to get a lot of rollovers like me and Cole did today. And we know he's on. We're going to get a lot of plays, and I mean, the whole team's feeling good when Detmer's going. So,
Zach Taylor with WTAW. Nathan, how much in your scouting did you know about these Notre Dame hitters? It seemed like they were pretty aggressive early on. So, how much did that factor in when you were facing them today?
I didn't know too much about them, but just in the little scouting report, I knew we talked about it, that they were going to be on swing and they're going to be aggressive on the base pass, and they're going to be, they're out to punch you right in the face. But if you just attack and let them swing over my sinker and stuff, I know that I was going to have success, and that's what happened today.
Back here.
Ben Peck, KAGS. Trevor, Coach talked yesterday about how if y'all could get a nice pitching outing like Nathan gave you guys, it could potentially really help the offense just kind of get back out there after a quick inning, quick 3 outs, and get in that rhythm. Is that something you feel like with the guys did kind of help your offense, especially those 3rd, 4th inning?
Yeah, 100%. Like when Detmer's out there rolling and we're spending 5 minutes on defense, I mean, it saves a lot of energy, and you get right back on them and keep the pressure on Notre Dame, and that's what we did all day, and I think that's what helped us be successful and get the win.
Okay. Any other questions for this? Yep, back here in the back. I can't see. Yeah, Pete.
Pete LaFleur, College Baseball 360. Question for either of the players. Obviously, Coach has been here a lot and has navigated the losers bracket and whatnot. Can you just tell us how the past few days have gone for you guys in terms of approach, handling the pitching, and do you feel like his experience kind of transferred over to you and gave you confidence?
Trevor, you start.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, we just talked about, a couple days ago before our first elimination game that we're just going to win one game at a time and don't let the Aggies win one. And, I mean, at this point, we're on 2 one-game win streaks, and we're feeling good and confident and ready to take on OU again.
Well said. That's all I got.
Okay, here in the back. Okay.
Brent Zwarneman, Houston Chronicle. Trevor, Coach talked about how important it was to play a clean game. Y'all got that one out of the way early and then did play a clean game. And how redemptive was it for you, even though it didn't hurt you, to hit the home run? And what did you hit?
Yeah, just first batter for them. Just came out of my legs a little bit and went under my glove. And then I was like, all right, so what? Learn from it. Just got to stay down, stay on my legs. And then next batter, bunt, right back to it. So felt good to get that one out of the way, and that was the only one in the game. And the rest was clean. On the homer, I was actually walking up to the plate, and it was to lead off the inning, and I kind of looked at like the painting of the College World Series like behind home plate, and I was like, you know what, this is pretty cool. So that kind of let me relax a little bit, and I just put a good swing on he was throwing kind of like cut fastball a little bit, and it was pretty much the same pitch I saw. Took the first pitch and then hit the homer on the second pitch, and it was just middle, and I put my good swing on it.
Okay, we have time for one more question, if anybody. Olin? This will be the last question for the players.
Olin Buchanan, TexAgs. I want to ask you, Nathan, just can you tell us what it was like Friday for you, Friday night, and then into Saturday after, a hard day in the first game?
Yeah, as I said before, it really was tough. When I came out after that game, I just felt so little, and I felt like I let everyone down. And I'm not gonna lie to you, I went in my hotel room and I cried, and I just didn't know what to do. I felt lost. But my good friend Micah Dallas, he texted me that from one game, it doesn't define me. It doesn't define me as a person, and baseball doesn't really define me as a person. It's all my worth is through God, and I just prayed to Him that night. And he just told me that that's not my story, and he's got a plan for me, and that one game wasn't it. And sure enough, I just had to trust in His plan. I knew He had a plan for me, and had success today, and it was awesome, great feeling.
Guys, thank you. Congratulations.
Thank you
We'll
very
see you again. I guess we do see you tomorrow, right? Okay. I messed that up yesterday, too.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, man. And we'll start again with, we'll start over here with Ryan.
Ryan Browninger, TexAgs. Coach, did you have Mood Menifee diving for an out on your bingo card today?
No, I didn't, but I had the pitch before. I looked back at Coach Yeski and said, we can pick this guy off. He's not paying attention to what's going on. And normally, they're not looking to run, but, Menifee's, his pickoff move, it's a weapon. So you'll see us do that every now and then. We're trying, obviously if the guy's running, but it's also if we're trying to steal an out. And it wasn't the most beautiful rundown, but, Moo, he got it done, And then we had to take a timeout so we could clean up a little bit.
Olin?
Olin Buchanan, TexAgs. Jim, Why Nathan?
Well, I just felt like, he'd only thrown 44 pitches. I didn't like the matchup if we were going to throw Prager. You want to be left-handed. I mean, OU's a great team, whether you had a right-handed pitcher or a left-handed pitcher, but I think you'd rather be left-handed against them as much as you can. And obviously we want to win and stay here, but I also like to win the thing. And I felt like if we're going to have a chance to win the College World Series and pitch deep and still be playing on Sunday or Monday, Detmer was going to have to pitch twice. And the longer we waited to start him, the less likely he would either be able to do it or he'd have to do it on an even shorter rest. So the fact that he had only thrown 44 pitches on Friday gave us an opportunity to do that. And him being a sinker ball guy, usually those guys, sometimes can be a little bit better on a little bit shorter rest. And so that was the thought process. I honestly didn't think we had an option. I thought that was the only option if we were A, going to try and beat Notre Dame, and B, try to win the College World Series, which we're a long way from that. But you understand what I'm saying? Like, if he's going to pitch twice, we needed to get this, or 3 times in the series, we needed to get the middle one over with.
Okay, Mitch.
Mitch Kutcher, CWS 247. Coach, what was the issue with the mound in the 7th inning?
Yeah, I think, no disrespect to the grounds crew. I think the mound's been an issue throughout the course of the week. I saw, is it Preston Johnson? Is the pitcher for Ole Miss last night? Brandon Johnson. It fell down. Our guys were complaining about it. I think it's really dry. There's some holes. I don't know if there's different clay or something, what's going on, but it's been an issue.
Okay, Zach.
Coach Zach Taylor, WTAW. When you look at the 3 games that you guys have played so far, would you say that this was the best defensive effort that your team gave so far?
Sure. Yeah. We had we punched out 8 guys. Obviously, Trevor had a really nice game. Nobody's asked yet about the Menifee first and second, nobody out, and we get the 5-3 double play. So yeah, I thought it was our best game. Certainly wasn't our best base running game. There was a few things there. Some I'm okay with, some I'm not. But I thought, it was our, in terms of pitching and defense, by far our cleanest. We walked 2 guys, and hit 1. So I thought, we did a better job of limiting free bases.
Kendall.
Kendall Rogers, D1 Baseball. Jim, I know you kind of feel like you have unfinished business, but to get in college baseball's Final Four in year 1, that's a pretty high bar.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. Super proud of the kids, how far they've come from, not just the beginning of the season, but, this time last year, we didn't have a coaching staff. A third of this team wasn't even Texas A&M Aggie yet. We were still recruiting out of the transfer portal, and you look up a year later, and you're playing. You're like you said, we're in the we're in the Final Four of college baseball. So, great tribute to the kids. Obviously, our coaching staff, administration, everybody committing to having a great program, and then everybody has really just given themselves up for the common good. And this team, whether we win or lose the rest of this thing, they're going to be remembered for a really long time. I think they've brought a lot of excitement back to Texas A&M baseball, and people are fired up.
Okay, we're back here.
Jack Allen with ABC 40. Coach, obviously Nathan put in a solid outing, but in terms of the length that he was able to go and the amount of innings he was able to eat up, how much does that help moving forward?
Obviously a ton. We got to play 3 games in 3 days, I think. Correct? I think that's the tournament. So anybody that saves every possible pitch. Palace ran in the bullpen. I think he threw a couple. Hopefully he didn't. We didn't use him too much. We're certainly going to. Now we're at the point where, Dallas has pitched. He's not obviously going to be able to pitch anytime soon. Detmer's obviously done for a while. So this is that point that every college coach talks about all year long, where now you need something from somebody that you haven't gotten, right? Whether it be a Prager, whether it be a Wyatt Tucker. Some other guys down there, Will Johnson, are going to have to give us extended length to have a chance, and we're going to have to score against a great team. So all I know is our guys, we've been backed in the corner all year long, especially with our pitching situation, and we just keep fighting. So I know it sounds cliche, but that's all we can do. But Nathan definitely gave us some breathing room by going 7 innings.
Okay, Molly, who you got? Oh, Brent.
Brent Zwarneman, Houston Chronicle. You've seen the passion of this place. You had seen it before. Is it hard for you to believe that you now have half of the Aggies College World Series victories in their appearances in history?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think much about that. I don't know the past history. I know that the program's been awesome. I respect how hard it is to get here, right? So Coach Childress had a phenomenal run. I mean, 13 straight trips to the NCAA tournament. I hope I'm able to be a part of that for the next 13 years. And then 2 trips to the College World Series. And we know, the way the ball bounced against TCU a couple times, could have been 4, and that completely changes things. So it's so hard just to win a game, much less a game in the College World Series. So I'm super respectful of how hard that is. And obviously, we have a university that's committed to winning at the highest level, and we're all hired for a reason, and that's to get here and win here. And that's easier said than done. You don't just get to throw money at something and twinkle your nose and have it happen, but you just want to be in position every year. And then if you're in position every year, then the way the ball bounces, you get a great pitching performance like today, who knows? You can stay here for a long time.
Okay, last question for Jim.
Ben Peck, KAGS, Coach, that second inning, top of the second inning where, got the call strike looking and then the base running mistake, it seemed like that could have potentially been a momentum change in the game, but obviously your guys responded well. Just did you say anything to the guys? And if not, just what pleased you with how they kind of responded to that situation?
You talking about when Bose at second base? Yeah, I mean, we thought we had something on the starting pitcher. He actually did exactly what I wanted him to do. I think that was the first time, at least on video all year long, that Simon, is that what you say? Simon, it's the first time all year long, at least on video, that he's run that little inside move. Normally when he doesn't look at second base, he pitches. And so we talked about in the scouting report, and he did so they got us. So that's a baseball play. And those things happen in baseball. We was 1 out. We had just punched out. We're trying to get to third base with 1 out. And we want to play offense offensively. I didn't think that was a reckless play. The fly ball tag up, that whatever that happened there, that was, I'm way more upset about that than the attempt at a stolen base.
Jim, thank you.
Yeah.
See you tomorrow afternoon. All right. Reminder that the locker rooms are closed. If you have any other special requests, just find Thomas and he'll help you out. Okay, once again.
As you may know it, but the percentage of games are decided when one team scores more in one inning than the other team scores in the entire game. Like, it's a statistical fact that is how a lot of the games are decided. So we try to pride ourselves on the pitch execution and the defense, and today those things got us a little bit, and that's, their 3 was more than our 1 in the third, and we just, the fly ball obviously hurt. I think Jared called that ball early and kept after it, and I think Spencer backed off and didn't take charge. That obviously hurts, and when you give them opportunities like that, it's a good team. I mean, they're going to capitalize. I thought Detmer did a fantastic job. These guys can probably give you a little more insight at this moment than myself, but he had 4 pitches in play. His fastball had good movement. We just never could quite square it up. We tried some adjustments in the box, and clearly not enough to figure it out. Started off okay, like Cole's on, and part of the thing today for us was we're going to try to get the third baseman and the pitcher involved in the short game, and we put a bunt down, but not good enough. I guess the thought on the obstruction was that guy impeding Myers' true lane to run, and I guess they felt no. Liam was good. Like I've talked about Liam, and I think he struck out the side in the first inning, so there are flashes of exceptional stuff. I don't know if the scoreboard gun was accurate, but I would venture to say that was 95 to 98 in the slider, and it was good. I mean, that was fine. And then I guess the walk and the balk, and then the third inning got away from us a little bit. And I think our guys, understandably, I've been in this position as a player. You're trying so hard to keep this thing from getting away that I think you're trying to do a little bit too much. And when you're in an elimination game, I think that sometimes is a hard mechanism to step back from and just kind of settle and play. And I didn't feel like we ever got into any real rhythm. Had some chances. We started to threaten, and the double play late hurt. It was tough. It's a tough way to end, but we're here, and if there is a space in this game to end your college season, this is clearly the spot, and it's a tough pill to swallow at the moment, but these guys will reflect on this eventually as a very positive experience, although it feels unlike that at the moment because we clearly didn't play a well-rounded game.
Okay, we'll open it up for questions for the student athletes, and we'll start back here with Mitch.
Mitch Kutcher, CWS 247. Guys, what made Nathan Detmer so difficult to face today? Was there something that he was doing today that you hadn't seen previously on the scouting reports?
Jared, why don't you? Okay, go ahead.
I mean, he mixed well. His pitches had depth. He had the sinker going. He had the fastball, his run going. He had the changeup going. Like, it was just nothing was going straight. And was pitching everybody differently. Didn't fall into tendencies. My first AB was different than my second AB. He just tipped the cap.
Jared.
Yeah, I mean, I just think he just relentlessly attacked the zone, and we never really got into a rhythm. Coach mentioned we wanted to get into the bunt game. That never really happened. But, I mean, he was sharp tonight, so you tip a cap.
Okay, right here.
Tom Noyes, South Bend Tribune for the players. Between Sunday and Tuesday today, what made it so difficult for you guys to get in a rhythm and play the type of Notre Dame baseball that we've seen this year?
It's just a tough question. I don't know. I think we were ready to play. We knew where we were, and our backs were against the wall. So I think we gave it everything we got. It just wasn't in the cards today.
Yeah, we emptied a tank. I mean, it's not for a lack of effort, not for lack of wanting to be here. It's just didn't fall our way today.
Hey, John.
Yeah, for both Jared and Brooks, how do you guys kind of evaluate, and I know it's tough just after a game, but how do you evaluate how far you've carried this Notre Dame program in your time, the turnaround that you've seen, and what do you think the future is for Notre Dame baseball?
Brooks, you start, please.
The future for Notre Dame baseball is bright. I mean, we're one of the best teams in history, our group. And it didn't reflect that today. Not the outcome we were looking for, but the stuff we were able to do, the group of guys we had, everything was special. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I wish we could run that same group of guys back out on the field again and give it another shot. But we've come a long way, and it's been a fun ride. I'm sure I'll reflect back on it once I process this, but I wouldn't rather be on the field with anyone else.
Okay, Travis.
Travis Brown from the Bryan College Station Eagle for both players. It seemed like Detmer had a two-seamer that was running almost the same way as a slider. How does that compare to a lot of those kind of moving fastballs you've seen, and how much more difficult does that make a four-seamer when he has something moving like that?
Jared, you start, please.
I mean, it's nothing we haven't seen before, but he was pretty sharp tonight. I mean, I think maybe we got a little aggressive and just really wanted to do some damage and didn't really let the game come to us. But he was attacking the zone, and I mean, he was pretty sharp, and he was putting that pitch right where he wanted to, so you tip a cap.
Brooks?
Yeah, he kept all those pitches moving away from you, out of the middle of the plate, fastball, two-seamer, in, away from the middle of the plate. He, like I said again, tip your cap. He was sharp tonight.
Okay, any more questions for the student athletes? Okay, right here again.
Tyler Horko, Blue and Gold Illustrated. I saw you guys obviously standing in the dugout there for a few minutes after the game. Is it hard to reflect on what just happened, considering how successful this team was, not just this year, but the last couple years? And are you even able to process, what this means in that moment, what's going through your head when you guys are standing there?
No, I mean, we came in here to win the whole thing. I mean, this whole playoff run was special, and we acknowledge that we ran through some tough teams, and maybe the outside didn't really give us a chance, but we wanted to win the whole thing, so it's tough right now.
Brooks?
I mean, it's hard to really reflect in the moment because for some of these guys, their career is over, and it's just one of those feelings you can't really describe. You don't really care about what happened in the past. I mean, it's just a really emotional time right now.
Guys, thank you. Congratulations on, you'll remember it as a great season, I'm sure. So you can go. If you have any other questions, Mitch will help you out. Locker room's closed, of course. Or Matt will help you out. There I go again. Yeah, it's a lot. Okay, open up questions for Link. Over here, Mitch.
Mitch Kutcher, CWS 247. Coach, you've had back-to-back strong seasons. How do you keep this momentum going forward?
Well, the way they feel right now gives you momentum the moment you regroup and start preparing for next year. Like, they've won 4 championships in 2 years. It's tough. And it's tough last year to see it end as a regular season ACC champion and a regional champion. To have, you were that close. That experience probably familiarized us with what it was like in the super regional and what you had to do to win it. So that hunger and the understanding of how critical every play is, and they're not always plays that you script, but how critical the execution on some things that come up that are rare at times. Some of the cutoffs and the funky things that happen in the game, it's hard to, if you're in the right spot and prepare. So the lessons stand out more here. It stood out last year. We were capable of winning it last year. We didn't. Were we capable of winning it this year? Not the way we played the last 2 ball games, but the first game at 100%, like that was trending in the right direction. So I do think the bitterness of some misfiring in this setting makes every practice and training session a little bit more significant because you remember some of the things that held you back and cost you. Now, this event does require a little bit of customization to what this is really like when you have a full day off, when you have the day Thursday with all that goes into it, to walk out Friday to feel that. It helps. So you build off of this from the disgust you feel right now and then the knowledge of what it takes, to feel how this should work and what the days are like and, how the games feel in this stadium. So you learn from the negatives and then you just try to process, some of obviously the good things you did, but to take in what this series feels like. Until you've done it, you can't teach it, explain it, fake it, show video of it. You can't. And now they've done that. So are we more prepared the next time this group comes back? Yes. Is it easy to win when you play the way we did? No. And they now know all of that. It's just a tough lesson in this setting to taste it like that.
Okay, John.
Link, a two-parter here. John Bryce, Irish Sports Daily. As you talk about the future of the program, how do you evaluate what you need from a roster standpoint, from a facility standpoint? And part two, it's been a few days, but you're coach of the year. You've emerged as a commodity. How do you evaluate your future options, be it Florida State or Notre Dame or wherever?
Yeah, I've been dealing with that for a while, and my mind has not gone to that place, and I'm not going there with it right now. There's things I told our coaches after the first two games: write down everything you felt and sensed that helped us win and hurt us. Somebody asked me in a press conference a while back, like, how do you get to build what you build? Well, it starts with some of the things that you know it takes to win here. Command of an above-average secondary pitch. I think all the arms in it, and Bertrand when he was good, yes, and Finley's rolling some things in there that are. But you look at all the facets of program building, from evaluation of what you're looking for in the players to how you recruit that type of player and get them to your campus A and get them through the draft B, and then the things within the game that come up that you continue to try to adjust and hammer home. I never thought I was coach of the year. I have the guys of the year. I mean, these kids have been on 13 road trips, and you've followed it. What they've done is very tough. They earned that. That's not me. But to continue to escalate the caliber of arm we run out there, to surround them with the type of defense that we did play this year. We didn't play it in a couple innings today, but there was some athleticism around those arms, and that always helps. Got to get left-handed bats in the lineup. The balance. I told you after Sunday that string of righties, it's pretty easy to pitch to 6 of the same type guy in a row. And we're probably, again, in who we've played, I think we're one of the few that has that string. And I knew it was tricky out of the gate, and I tried to get some of those younger guys and Jouer in the equation, but eventually we had to go with what we had, and I think we were a little too easy to pitch to at times, and that's why. So when you have the above-average secondary pitches and some of those right-handers had multiple of them going, when you have 6 righties in a row, that's hard to string good at-bats together. And I told our assistants, write down everything you saw, felt, think it takes to get over the hump. This is when you really start to build your tactics on how to run things. So I'm doing it right now.
And I apologize, mine was a little long-winded, but facilities, where do you feel you are? What do you need?
You know, I talk to JT every once in a while, and he's like, Dad, I think sometimes you put more thought in the facility than maybe the players. And I said, JT, I think you're right. I just want our players to have the best, number one, opportunity to grow their craft and their skills. I mean, this is going to be a profession for a lot of these guys. So I always focus on player development stuff first, and we've done some modifications. Then you look at to have the ability to host. So maybe you're giving yourself a better chance to play some of the series on campus. I don't know if that came into the equation this year or not. Maybe it did. The financial piece, when you hold a lot of people, it adds up. Was that part of it this year? I don't know. And Jack and I have talked about it and trying to maybe expand it a little bit, because now you are in the discussion for those sort of things. And in fairness to them, that's kind of the second part of always what I look at is, first, how can we make them better players? Now, is there anything we need to do just to increase the capacity? And you've seen our place. It's a little tricky of how you would do it. So the indoor stuff is fine. Loftus is good. Our cages are fine. Our new bullpen is great. The new turf is great. And the stadium was built in 94, 5. So it's at one time was probably one of the best, if not the best, in the Midwest and rivaling other good ones in the country. And as time goes on, people continue to build, and Jack and I have talked about it. So I hope that's something that we can get to, and I think it gives them maybe a better chance to play at home at the end of the year.
Okay, we had a question there in the back.
Austin Ulmer, Mav Radio. What made it so difficult to pitch to these Texas A&M hitters when they're just so patient at the plate?
So
they don't
patient.
swing at first pitches.
Yeah.
What makes it so difficult to pitch to these guys?
Well, we're going into the game with Liam, who we know the strike throwing is not necessarily his forte. So that factored in a little bit, but they do. I don't know them well enough At some point, I'll grab Slosh and say, explain it to me. But they don't seem to jump on things until maybe runners in scoring position. Then they get a little bit more aggressive. Where we were a little bit reckless, but they weren't recognizing the slider, so it looks reckless. If you knew what it was, A, you wouldn't swing at it, or B, you'd probably square it up. So they did a good job early, whether it's like simply taking, like, I mean, that's one way to do it. If you're just, I'm taking, or if somebody's telling those guys to take, it clearly works. Like, their offense is built off of that. They walk a lot. They create that way. They deepen the starter's pitch count. And eventually the weakness of most of us is somewhere in the middle of that game. And they capitalize on it. And you could see the personality of the team. We knew coming in, like, we had it scripted out on the report exactly how they do it. Very patient, different, may adjust a little bit with runners on second and third, and they did it. So they played their game, and they do a good job. And they can do enough damage with some of their more physical guys that if you give them a few freebies, eventually one of those, I don't think it was a big deal in this game, but they've hit some balls over the fence this season a lot. So that combination is why they're here. They do a good job with it.
Tyler, this should be our last question here.
Tyler Horka, Blue and Gold Illustrated. Link, I know you said that you're not letting your mind go to Florida State, but you also said that it has been out there for a little bit. How difficult has that been to make this about them and get to the College World Series and do all this for Notre Dame while that is still kind of out there?
Yeah. The constant questions on it, whether it was Clemson or FSU, whatever. Trying to completely keep my routine and my focus and leave the other people and the other questions that I get, like, as far out of this as I can. When we were in Knoxville that whatever day it was, Friday, and they made that maneuver, the focus to try to, like, redirect, because you're getting question after question on it. And I'm sitting there with these guys that are the best. These guys are the best. Like, they are a unique species of student athlete. You can forget what that out there, I mean, that's why we're here, but remove the baseball part. These are exceptional guys. Like, these are global leaders that are in the making in the world of finance and whatever field they will be in. That's where they will end up. So to have that group of guys, my focus was on them and not the other stuff. And you know what? I had to deal with it last year. And when your program's doing the right thing, you're going to have those distractions, whether it's baseball, basketball, football. And I tried with all I had not to go there in my mind. And it was difficult. But I wanted to know when this thing either ended with a trophy or not, that, like, they were the focus of what I was doing. And they're just phenomenal. Like, they are phenomenal human beings.
Mike, thank you.
Yes, sir.
Congratulations.
Thank you.